Hi, I'm Billy Cole with ColeRoofing, and today I'm here with David Knipp and Wells Obrecht of Obrecht Commercial Real Estate. We're sitting atop the Natty Boh Tower in Baltimore City, home of one of the first vegetated roofs in downtown Baltimore that I'm aware of. Certainly for ColeRoofing, it was one of our first endeavors. It's great to get up here and take a look at the growth, and if we could, maybe for a second, just talk about your guys' experience of living with a green roof day in and day out.
The roof system itself is very low maintenance. Maybe once or twice a year we'll have somebody take a look at it, and other than that it's just self-sustaining.
I think the main decision to go with the green roof had to do with the fact that we were trying to meet the silver standard for LEED, and we were one of the first buildings in the city to meet the silver standard. And part of meeting the LEED standards was having a green roof. It was one of the options that we could pursue. And we thought this was an excellent way to improve the operation of the building by lowering your operating cost, lowering your energy usage, great sound insulation for the tenants below, a nice aesthetic asset to have for tenants. We look out on this green roof and get to see it every day. It's not something that's out of sight in most places. And we thought it would also add to the longevity of the roof.
Yeah, I think it's been great. I love it. I would definitely do it again. It's been terrific watching the roof mature. We have many different levels of roofs, so a lot of our tenants can look out of their offices and see it. It's it's peaceful, it's serene, and from an operating perspective, it's not that expensive to maintain. Well, we had some ducks that nested on the roof last summer or 2 summers ago, and ducklings, and this year we have 6 doves that have roosted right over here. I think we might have scared them away just now, but it's fun to see that element brought to the city.
And in addition, we have the butterflies and spiders and a small ecosystem here up on the roof. It's terrific.
Yeah, so okay, we've got all these issues surrounding the roofing and make sure we do that, and then we've got the vegetation and now all these benefits, and now we're talking about things like, well, gee, I had no idea that a family of ducks would live there. How cool was that?
Right.
And I had no idea the doves and all those things. So, the idea, the piece of information that you guys have that we want other people to get is there's all these things out there. You touched on it earlier, the longevity of the roof, the life cycle costing. I mean, we can model it a lot of ways, but inherently, whether it's running out at lunch and picking weeds for 15 minutes as a release, or seeing a duckling walk across the roof.
Right, there's a lot of intangible benefits.
Yeah.
The advantage of our particular roof is that we get out on it and we have space that looks down on it. So from an aesthetic perspective, it's very attractive compared to looking at traditional roof membrane. We get the flowering during the course of the day, and we get the flowering throughout the year, and we get the 4 cycles with the leaves changing color, and it's really a very attractive roof.
Well, and I think we'd be remiss if we didn't at least touch on the idea that the Natty Boh Tower as a whole is an extremely sustainable project from many facets, not just the green roof, and the green roof will just top it off with that. But the idea of you want to touch on any of the other systems that are sort of in play?
Yeah, as part of making this a LEED Silver building, we did several other innovative projects associated with that, one of which was our rainwater collection system for the stormwater runoff. We utilized the old beer tanks that came with the building and were underneath the parking lot, an underground vault. So instead of a traditional stormwater system, we reutilized the existing tanks rather than demoing them or putting them in a landfill, and we're able to capture the rainfall before it goes into the system. The other advantage of the green roof, of course, is that it greatly lessens the surge water going into our tanks. It filters the water first, so the water going into our tanks is pre-filtered before it then goes through a secondary filtration system before it's released into the bay. So we have 2 levels of filtration for water that comes off our roof. Helps the bay, it helps lower our maintenance on the stormwater system, on the filtration, and it's a benefit to everyone. from managing the property. If you ever have a leak or for whatever reason have to access the roof, you're not dealing with the dirt, you're dealing with the trays. And so you don't have to get a shovel up here, you just need one person can lift a tray and slide it around. I think of all the items in the LEED scorecard, the green roof is this and our stormwater system are really the two things that people take away when they come to this building. And that's really what they remember.